5 tips to help you deepen your Yoni yoga, Yoni meditation, divine feminine goddess practices. The first one is to remember that this mouth, this whole mouth, and your base mouth are connected. So when you are clenching, when you are tight in your jaw, when you are tight in your mouth, in all of the muscles of your top mouth, of your facial mouth, then the pelvic floor, the vaginal passageway, the whole womb is also in direct connection. So it's also tight, holding. So if you remember to allow some space, if you have to massage and open it up, wiggle your face around to loosen the jaw muscles, massage it a little bit, and bring that same feeling, sensation to your base mouth. Relax the pelvic floor. This brings us to the second tip, which is to push down on the pelvic floor muscles. So the pelvic floor muscles are muscles that move or that are connecting the sacrum at the base of the spine all the way and under to your pubic bone. So all of these dynamic muscles interwoven to hold all of your female organs, to hold your pelvic bowl. And when our mouth here is clenched and tight, and when we hold on to emotion, hold on to fear, then that base also tenses and we hold. And there's so much grounding, there's so much release that we can find if we start learning to relax those muscles. It's a great thing to learn to strengthen it, but to also learn how to release and to relax. And so a great practice that I often bring into my classes and workshops is to push down on the perineum. So the muscles directly between the vaginal opening and the anus, that you want to push down on those muscles that you usually pull up if you want to stop yourself from peeing. Push down gently all the way until you come to a maximum. Then you're going to hold it there for a moment and release. So you're not pulling it back up again, you're just releasing. And then you want to do it a few more times just to play around with it, to see how far it is that you can push down. If you need to go to the bathroom, go pee. It's easier to do that because otherwise you are holding somewhere inside of your body, and you want to learn how to feel what it is to be in full release. So pushing down all the way, holding it for a moment, and then releasing. See where it goes. And perhaps at the end of a few breaths like that, you can tell the difference between before doing it and after doing it. The more practice, then you will feel what that release actually is and what it does for your practice. The third tip is to remember to breathe through the mouth. This helps you keep a soft face. It helps you keep that connection between your base mouth and your face mouth. If you really tune in to what it feels like to inhale ever so softly, ever so gently into the body through the mouth and release it back up again, perhaps tune into what the temperature difference is. Tune into what the sensations are as it passes your lips, your teeth, moves over your tongue, and then back out again. How it moves in deeper to the body. This brings me to the fourth tip, which is to tune into sensations. It is so easy to get distracted by resistance, fears, emotions, visions, your to-do list, the thoughts, judgments, expectations. All kinds of things can pull us away from our practice, and it is completely normal. The tip is to remember, when you catch yourself doing that, to come back into sensation. So instead of judging yourself or feeling that you're doing it wrong, it is normal. Just come back to sensations. Feel where the emotion lives inside of your body. Feel where the resistance lives inside of your body. Feel what it is to move from that to-do list back into the sensations of the body. What can you feel? What don't you feel? come back to sensations, and it will amplify your experience of this practice. And the last tip is to remember to stay present with your experience. So if you become really emotional, or that there's a lot of resistance and you just feel like, I cannot get into this practice, I have so much pulling me away from it, or there's fear that arises, or your to-do list keeps coming in, that's okay. Stay present with your experience. Come back to those sensations, like in the last tip, and just remember that your experience is what needs to happen in this moment in order for your path to unfold. So even if it's not what you expected, it's letting go of what those expectations are, and replacing going into judgment with staying present with yourself. Come back into your experience and let go of whatever it is that you believe this practice needs to feel like, needs to look like, needs to sound like, needs to be. Let go of that control and see what happens. I'd love to hear from you what your experiences are with these tips in deepening your yoni practices, your feminine, sensual practices. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.